When I see what is happening to the PlayStation community, all I can do is laugh. Imagine the irony. You see, for the most part of 3 weeks, the PlayStation community was singing to the top of their voice, yes, Xbox is dead. And then after the Xbox podcast happened.
You can say it for real.
Let that be a lesson. Sometimes you wish for someone's downfall and it comes back to you. Yes, the PlayStation community has called for the death of Xbox, but guess what? It seems like they are the one who might be dying. You see, why would I make such a bold statement? Because I have come to realize that the PlayStation community is not just sick. All they do is lie. We will see how the PlayStation community has exposed themselves as being liars. They lied about Helldivers 2 because they said that is the PlayStation community is what driving this game. This game is being driven by the PlayStation community. I was shocked to see who is really driving Helldivers 2. We will expose them when it comes to, their own first-party games. The PlayStation community really playing their first-party games? We will look at that. We would also expose them when it comes to Sony being okay. The PlayStation community is saying Xbox is endangered, everything is going third party. You would see how even their own PlayStation faithfuls are saying this.
I'm telling you, don't die in this hell. The door's open for any decision for PlayStation to make. Do not write off day-and-day PC. There's no reason for you to write it off. What I recommend is just see and wait, see how things go. And if Sony makes a decision, evaluate that decision, and then you judge for yourself how you want to game, what device you want to game on, and what's best for you. That's it. That's all you can do. But I will not die in this hell damage control and make definitive statements. Don't make definitive statements like you know this guy. You don't know this guy. And you see the terms he used. I already warned you. When a man shows you who he is, believe him.
Yes, Porter Rock is warning his PlayStation faithfuls. He's warning his pony brethren. Don't die on this hill. Never say that Sony will never put their first-party AAA games day and date on PC. But what Porter Rock is failing to do is he's failing to give the real sense of the matter. And you see, he's holding back on saying what exactly the PlayStation president said. But we will dissect all of that and more. So you know what? Let's get it.
This is a sickness!
Let's get it. So before we start, let's talk about Now You Know Gaming Facts with Joe. Did you know at one point in time, Sony was so broke that they were selling their buildings? Yes, they went into real estate. Yes, this article was written by The Verge in 2013. According to The Verge, Sony agrees to sell US headquarters for $1.1 billion. Sony will sell its US headquarters building to investors for $1.1 billion, according to Bloomberg. The sale is expected to generate net cash of around $770 million for Sony, which is working out to cut losses across the board. So yes, at one point in time, Sony was so broke that they had to sell their buildings. Now, is it that 2024 we would see Sony making a repeat of this? Because we know that things aren't looking too good for them financially, being down year over year when it comes to operating profits. But we'll have to wait and see if Sony will be going back into real estate this coming year. Now, this segment was brought to you by the subscribe button. If you want to hear more gaming facts, if you want me exposing these PlayStation dudes and humbling them a little bit, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Now let's get back to the video. First up, there is a Nintendo Direct that would be going on today. Yes, today there will be a Nintendo Direct, and this Nintendo Direct no doubt would focus on the third-party partners according to Nintendo. So most likely this Nintendo Direct would reveal that Hi-Fi Rush, Sea of Thieves, and maybe Pentiment would be coming to a Nintendo platform. I'm also seeing Grounded being there as well. Now, persons are saying that this is an L for Xbox, but little do they know that Nintendo is an excellent partner for Xbox, because for the first time, Microsoft would have sold 1 million of their software, which is Minecraft, in Japan. You see, Microsoft was never popular in Japan, but because of making this smart move of putting some of the smaller games on Nintendo, they would have reaped the benefits of, for the first time, selling 1 million of their software on in Japan. So let me hear what you predict would happen at this Nintendo Direct. We know it's a little later down in the day. Let me know what you think about it in the comment sections below. Next up, let's get into the meat and potatoes of the matter. You see, let's play a game. Every time we hear a Sony fan lie about a particular topic, we are going to say, you hear lie? That is lie. So let's look at the first lie that the Sony community is trying to convince themselves. So the first lie that PlayStation fans tell themselves is that PlayStation fans play games. Yes, unlike the Xbox community, PlayStation fans play way more games than the Xbox community. You hear lie? That is lie. Lie? You hear lie? So one would think their first party game, MLB The Show 23. Let me ask a question. Who do you think is playing more of that game?
MLB The Show 23 has 6 times the players on Xbox through Game Pass than PS5 or PS4, despite the formerly exclusive baseball sim being a PlayStation Studios game. You might be stepping up to the plate for those MLB The Show 23 trophies right now on PS5 or PS4, but it looks like you'll be outmatched on the field by 6 times the number of players on Xbox Series X and Series S than PlayStation. Let's break down the data. MLB The Show 23 has been out for a week on PS5, PS4, Xbox Series X, and Nintendo Switch, so we are taking the player count from 7 days. On all PlayStation consoles with our sample of 3 million players, MLB The Show 23 charted in 41st on our PlayStation chart of the most popular games, linked above. On the Xbox chart with a sample of 2.4 million players, the baseball simulation charted in 13th, outperforming the likes of Halo Infinite, Hogwarts Legacy, and Madden NFL 23. When we adjust the data for the total sample size difference, MLB The Show 23 was played by 6.8 times more players on Xbox consoles compared to both PS5 and PS4. Though it's worth noting our PlayStation sample might be slightly skewed towards the European market, the sheer quantitative value of that sample set is more than enough to make this a valuable comparison.
Wow, to believe a PlayStation Studio game is being played more on Xbox platform than it is being played on PlayStation platform. How is this even possible? Sony fans, are you not ashamed? Are you guys not fed up of lying and putting on a show and coping? This is very clear that Xbox players, they are playing more games than you. Now this would add even more strength to what the Sony CEO is saying, that he is looking to put his games on not only PC but other platforms. Yes, it adds, a little more weight to what he's saying. But let me hear what you think about the lie that Sony fans told when it comes to they're playing more games than Xbox fans. Although Xbox have the smaller install base, yet still we are seeing more players are choosing to play MLB The Show on an Xbox platform rather than on PlayStation. Not too long ago, the PlayStation knew interim CEO said this.
The other potential driver is the first-party title generation. Because in the past, as you all know, we wanted to popularize console, and the title was something, and the first-party title main purpose was to make the hardware or the console popular, right? It is true, right? But there's a synergy to it. So if we have a strong first-party content, not only with our console, but also other platforms like computers. And the first-party can be grown with multi-platforms, and that can help operating profit to improve. So that's another one that we want to practically work on. I personally think there are opportunities out there for improvement of margin. So I would like to go aggressive on improving our margin performance.
Now, when the PlayStation community heard what the new president was saying, they didn't want to believe it. So they were coping and they were trying to explain what they thought he meant. But the best one of all who was trying to explain this was what King Trash was saying. Notice what he said here. Now, before I read what it is he says here, remember the PlayStation community makes up a lot of information. They go in Photoshop and they just stitch a set of things together and they say this is fact. When it is you go to research where the article really came from, it cannot be found. So this is one of the articles here that King Trash would have posted. It says PlayStation does not see PC as one platform but multi-platform. These guys are sick. I told you guys, it's a sickness. So when someone says something is going to PC, it's not just going on one service, it's going to multiple services, multiple platforms because of the Epic and so forth. These guys are sick, and these guys know exactly what he's saying, because just to clarify what he said, this was clipped from an article. So we are starting right which part the arrow is pointing there. Another driver will be first-party titles. Strong titles that achieve growth on PlayStation 5. PCs, plural, and other platforms will widen our margin. We believe that we have opportunities for margin improvement and intend to pursue them aggressively. So let me ask you this. Why do they need to improve margins if everything is okay with Sony, guys? Why do they need to be aggressive on putting their titles, their first-party AAA titles on PC and other platforms? Could you tell me that, Sony fans? Yes, these guys are lying and saying that Sony is doing okay. And a matter of fact, this came out right after the interview. According to CNBC, Sony plunged 10 billion with a B after its PlayStation sales cut. But a bigger issue is its near decade low games margin. Around 10 billion of value was wiped off Sony's stock this week after it's cut its sales forecast for its flagship PlayStation 5 console for the fiscal year. So the PlayStation community is saying everything is good with PlayStation, and yet this is what we are seeing. This is what we are seeing, and this is what we said. Year over year, they are seeing their margins cut, their profit margins cut. Why? They are selling the best. How could the console that is selling the best, the leader in the industry, be going through all these financial problems? Could you explain that, ponies? We told you guys what you wish for others is coming right back at you. You hear lie? That is lie. Let's look at the last thing that Sony fans lie about. When Helldivers 2 launched, it bombed because no one could have played the game because of its servers. But it has evolved into a smash hit for Arrowhead Studio. Yes, Helldivers 2 is now a bona fide hit, breaking all sorts of records on Steam and so forth. Now, the PlayStation community is claiming this game as one of their first-party titles, but we know it's not a first party title from PlayStation. This is a second party game made by Arrowhead Studios and published by Sony. Now, one would think that these guys are capping for Helldivers 2 so much that they would be playing it. They are the ones that are playing Helldivers 2. As a matter of fact, a known pony now, Mighty Keith, said this. Last I saw, the player count was around 50-50 for PS5 and Steam, so there might actually be 800,000 people playing Helldivers concurrently. Sony really got an unexpected hit on their hands. You hear lie? That is lie. Lie? You hear lie? Teacher Posey say when ponies tell a lie, they go into hell as soon as they die. What a lie. You know why we know it's a lie, guys? Because of this. Because a real analyst, Matt Piscatella from Circana, said this. Player engagement tracker, Helldivers 2 has been a huge hit, but it's mostly coming from PC. It's PC guys playing this, not PlayStation guys. Of daily active players on the respective platforms, nearly 1 in 4 US Steam players are now playing Helldivers 2, while fewer than 1 in 20 active PlayStation 5 players are playing. Wow, what a margin. 1 in 20 PlayStation 5 players are playing Helldivers 2. So that margin that Michael Keith said, or Mighty Keith said, is a lie. Ponies out here are capping. They are not even playing this game. This game is being carried by the PC crowd. What a shame. Say it with me, guys. All they do is lie. All these ponies do is lie and cap. They are not even playing MLB The Show. They are not playing Helldivers 2. They are not even being real about the danger that Sony is in. This is the lie of the Sony community. Let me know what you think about the video, guys. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more videos. I'll see you guys in the next one. You hear lie? That is lie.